Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with Nico Gonzalez, who was on loan at Valencia this past season, as it has been reported that Barcelona's 10 million euro rated starlet Nico Gonzalez is not in Xavi's plans. Two clubs are eyeing a loan deal for him. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Frenkie de Jong, as it has been reported that Bayern Munich are very positive that if they push for Frenkie de Jong, they might get him. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, endeavor to hit the subscribe button. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Nico Gonzalez was regarded as one of the brightest young prospects coming through the Barcelona youth ranks not long ago. And while the 21-year-old continues to be rated quite highly, it appears that the midfielder does not have an immediate future at the club. Nico spent the last season out on loan at Valencia, despite Xavi wanting to keep him at the club, as he believed that regular opportunities would not be forthcoming at the Camp Nou. And heading into the summer transfer window of 2023, the situation is not much different as Nico still faces plenty of competition in the midfield department for Barca. And as such, Sport is now reporting that Xavi Hernandez does not have the 21-year-old starlet in his plans for the upcoming season. The manager does not believe that Nico has the level needed to play as a pivot midfielder, and as far as the interior midfield positions are concerned, the squad is already loaded with options following the imminent arrival of Ilkay Gundogan. As such, Xavi has no place for Nico in his plans for the next season, and another loan exit or even a permanent transfer await the La Masia graduate. And as per the report, Real Betis are insisting on signing Nico on loan for the upcoming season. The Seville-based outfit are looking at the Spaniard as a possible replacement for Guido Rodriguez, who coincidentally has been linked with a move to Barcelona. Real Betis' new sporting director, Ramon Planes, knows the player very well. He knows what Nico can bring to the table, having seen him from close quarters when employed as the technical secretary at Barcelona, you know, and he is keen on taking the 21-year-old on loan to the Benito Villamarín. However, Real Betis are not the only La Liga club interested in loaning Nico for next season. Valencia, where the midfielder spent the last season on loan, are interested in re-signing him and have contacted Barcelona regarding the same. Nico missed a good chunk of the last season due to injuries but has seemingly done enough in his 26 appearances for Los Che to want to take him back. The young star's current contract with Barca runs until 2026 and he needs to play regularly at this age. So a loan move either to Betis or Valencia would certainly be beneficial to the player. Of course, it has not worked out for Nico as many people would have expected. Nico came through the ranks from La Masia. We quite remember when, Ronald Koeman was still the manager. He was the one who brought Nico and Gavi together. They came the same time, started pre-season, and fortunately, Gavi's own worked out. But unfortunately for Nico, he never had the quality that the new manager Xavi Hernandez, wanted, and eventually he was loaned out to Valencia, and of course, to be honest, it has not gone well for Nico. Even in his loan spell at Valencia this past season, Nico have been subpar. Nico have not performed well, and of course, even though yes, there were injuries on the way throughout the season, long-term injuries, but whenever he was on the pitch, he have not given that elite performance. And honestly, Xavi have not seen any reason to bring him to the first team next season. He's not part of Xavi's plans because there were a lot of talk about why is Xavi not considering Nico as the new DM as Busquets have left, because Nico is a DM by trade, which unfortunately it did not go well for Nico. in his loan spell, and from the look of things, Barca will want to loan him again, as Real Betis now is pushing for a move. Ramon Planes, our former sport technical director, who is now the sporting director at the club at Betis, he really knows the player very well, and he's the one pushing for a possible transfer. So Valencia are still interested to retain the player even after not doing so well in his loan spell. Valencia are still keeping close tabs on the player about a possible loan move. So it remains to be seen how things will look like for Nico Gonzalez as a player, despite from La Masia, does not feature in Javi's plans moving forward next season. Of course, it's quite unfortunate that Nico Gonzalez, who looked like one of the bright stars to come out from La Masia, does not look like he will be a player who will play for the first team anytime soon, except that, he make good use of this second loan spell, either going to Real Betis or to Valencia. Then moving on to the final story of discussion, there are multiple Barca players who are facing an uncertain future at the club ahead of the upcoming transfer window. But as the club look to offload their unwanted stars, there are other stars in the team who are considered untouchable. One of them is Frenkie de Jong. The Dutchman is coming on the back of an exceptional season that saw him emerge as one of the club's top performers. However, according to Florian Plattenberg, Frenkie is currently on Bayern's radar. Thomas Tuchel has listed the Barca midfielder as one of Bayern's potential targets this summer. The interest from Bayern is far from concrete at this point, and the German champions are just monitoring him. But this could be viewed as club's early steps, as the Bavarians look to reinforce their ranks in the middle of the pack. Bayern are looking to offload Leon Goretzka this summer, as the German international has fallen out of favor, replacing him with De Jong, whose market value stands at 75 million, appears to be on Thomas Tuchel's mind, and though the club are not yet to make a move. Nevertheless, Barca are unlikely to consider the sale of Frenkie de Jong. The Dutchman is one of the most experienced players currently in our team, and with Sergio Busquets seemingly on the verge of joining Inter Miami, the club required the presence of someone like Frenkie de Jong in the years to come. So it will be interesting to see if Barca consider the possibility of a swap deal involving Frenkie and Joshua Kimmich, one of the club's top targets in the market this summer. Bayern, though, are unlikely to even consider selling the German international, who is considered the fact of their project. So callers, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, endeavor to hit the subscribe button so you always stay with everything Barca here on Viva Barca. Until next time, bye bye.